Cup of Joe with Grandpa Dez.
Oh, I get to hear you sing. I'm actually here, a part of your podcast.
Hey, you've heard me sing before. You've been to
Yeah, but the thing
karaoke
is,
and
yeah.
I've sung with your husband Mike playing guitar in church.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was years
My
ago.
very first time singing in front of people would have
Mm.
been that. That was like when I was like 15.
I like the
Um,
song that you sang at your mom's funeral. That was really good.
what was that?
And
Oh, I don't
Willie
even remember.
Nelson.
Oh yeah. Was it You Were Always on My Mind?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe no, or Bridge Over Troubled Water,
No, you
maybe.
sang Willie Nelson.
Yeah, I know, but didn't he do that one? No,
No,
I
I
think you're
don't
right.
think
I think it
so.
was You Were Always on My Mind. I think you're
Yeah.
probably right. So what are you drinking? I just got water. I'm boring today,
I
but
got Diet Pepsi.
it's in a Winnipeg Jets cup. So
See, I would
I
have got Tim Hortons, like a Tim Hortons ice cap for this, but we're actually recording this now late at night. Ooh, because Paul is a night owl like me. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I thought, no, I'm not going to drink an ice cap with all that
Eating on
being
camera.
up all night.
So yesterday, and this would be 4 days ago as we're recording this. For anybody watching, they might know this story. We were supposed to record. And before that, I do my weekly podcast, and we always start at like 9:55, almost on the button. And I'm
Mhm.
sitting there watching TV, and I was not feeling very well, so I took some NyQuil, and then I'm watching TV, and I crashed. And
Oh,
then about 10:45, like I'm woken up because my watch is vibrating, and I'm getting a text, and where are you? Did you fall asleep? And because I'd done that once before. And so we didn't start recording till about 11, and we didn't finish till about 12:30. So we would have
wow.
had to have been delayed anyways if we would have done it yesterday. So
Well, what time do you usually go to bed?
like 2, and then
Oh,
I'm up at 6:37. But I work from home, so it's easy, you know.
yeah, but
Um,
do you have a nap during the day?
Sometimes I'll take a nap at lunchtime because I get
Oh.
45 minutes for lunch. So and it's nice and easy when you're at home. So um, and then sometimes at night, like in the evening, I'll just take a quick nap after Anne gets home from work. So, anyways, that's
Well, I'm
so.
asking
So
that
you're
question.
living, in a new place now.
Yeah.
I haven't even been to your place, so that's like the first I've seen it. Is what I'm looking at right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So how are you liking it?
The Christmas tree is just standing there for now with those boxes. Those are all the Christmas gifts and stuff. So we're going to be moving all that tomorrow. We're actually setting up our Christmas tree early this year.
Okay.
But today I finished wrapping all my Christmas presents.
And
So
did
they're
that
in
last
those
week.
boxes over there. Yeah, we're early, but I love living out here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Um.
awesome. You guys should move out here.
So I should tell people because a lot of your people, your fans, and you've got fans,
Plans.
but will be watching
Yeah,
this and
all
they know
five
who
of them
you
are going to
are.
be working.
But the people that I think probably most of the people that have been watching these shows so far aren't going to recognize you. And Darlene is my aunt. It's my mom's, my late mom's sister. But we're
Mhm.
like really close in age. You're only a couple of years older than me, and we grew up almost like brother and sister. So
Yeah.
it's cool. You're an author. I'm a writer of sorts.
Yeah, you're a
And
good writer.
yeah, thank you. I mean, I've done one book, and I think so. Our books, they were like pretty close to around the same time, like maybe within a year of each other, eh? I think yours
Yeah,
was
that is
first.
so funny that we were
Yeah,
both writing books at the same time.
yeah, because you did yours first. Was it like
Yeah.
2004, your first book?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. That
I
would
have
be
your
like 18 years ago?
yeah,
Wow.
almost now, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. I do have your list of books here.
I
Uh,
remember I started
oh,
blogging.
out of stock. Your first book is out of stock right now.
Oh,
It
good.
doesn't
Which one?
say,
Oh,
the
because
one you
I
didn't want me the one you didn't want me to mention.
yeah, it's
Um,
terrible. It's so
so and then if you see on the ticker, the Reshaping It All, that book that's and it says co-author, that is you co-wrote that with Candace Cameron, who most people are probably going to recognize as the star of Full House.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you got to meet her online, right?
I met her in person like 3 times too. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh,
or 4
March
4 times,
2006
I
it
think.
says. So you released this in 2006.
What,
So
reshaping it?
no, Mom Complex.
Oh, the
So
mom
maybe
complex.
mine was first then, because I'm sure I
Wow.
did mine in 2005.
Wow.
Because if you remember my book, the wrestler in it dies, and he
Mm.
had addiction problems. Spoiler alert. And it came out around the same time as a very famous wrestler died, Eddie Guerrero, and we just had the 16th anniversary of his death.
Oh,
So at the time
wow.
that this came out, oh no, so yeah, so it would have been, oh, you know what? It would have been the next year. That's right. So maybe the same year, 2006.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yours got a little more fanfare than mine. I did a book signing at the mall. You did yours in a nice big theater. It was really cool.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't that the book was doing so well. It was just that
No,
I
no, it's
wanted
just,
to make a big fanfare about
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah. Hey, you know what? It's a
That
big deal.
was so much fun. That was a great night. I loved it.
And honestly, for you and me, really too, but you especially, like for you to write a book and then now write several, and dozens really, is almost a miracle. Like considering, like what you've had to deal with in your life, and
Yeah.
and the issues you had in school and stuff. So,
Yeah, did you know
like,
I failed grade 12 English?
yeah, yeah, and you like, so you had,
Yeah.
it's just dyslexia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
yeah, and
struggled a lot in school. And what's
yeah,
really funny is that Madison as well, Madison really struggled in school. She was terrible with grammar. And struggled with English. And Madison's book is doing really well online now too.
yeah.
She's
I've
working
seen
on
that.
her second book that's really like her own kind of thing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
she's also done like busy books and stuff. But her little Bible studies for kids, they're awesome.
I know. I saw one of her books, and I was really impressed. And I, like I said, I've always wanted to do another book, but the first one was so easy, and I just
Yeah.
don't think it would be easy after that, because it kind of wrote itself. So people talk about it as an accomplishment, and I guess it is. I don't really think of it as that, because the story was in my head and I just had to write it down. So,
Mm.
for another book, I would actually have to do work and like figure out a story and flesh out characters and stuff. So if it was going to be a novel, I mean, it would be a whole other thing to like write, like maybe like my life story or something
Yeah,
like
that
that.
would be really interesting to hear about
Well,
your
it'd
life
be a
story.
lot like that other book, actually. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, and plus the problem is I'm old, and I'll probably like make stuff up and forget things, and
Yeah.
so we're both. Well, I'm old. You're not old. I'm
Well,
old.
we're a little bit opposite in that you didn't struggle in school. You were smart. You got
Yeah, but
good
I
at
I
school.
was lazy. That's the problem. Um,
Mm.
so I don't know. Like I could have done so much better, I think, but
Yeah.
I wanted
You
to.
look like you're looking at the controls on your computer
No,
there.
I am. I'm trying to. I had something set up I wanted to show people, and I'm having a
Ah.
hard time finding it now.
Do you
Hang
have
on.
your book behind you?
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
I
Here, let
don't
me
see it
try.
there. See,
So it is
read it.
hiding below my shoulder. So right beside the Blues Brothers poster, it's like two over from that. Wait, I'm
Ah,
blocking it now.
okay, okay.
I'm blocking it. There we go. You see, there's three
Ah,
books there, and mine's the one in the
yeah.
middle. Yeah.
So
So
where is this podcasting room that you have? Is this in your
okay.
basement or on the
Yep.
main floor?
Yeah, this is
Oh.
so this is actually my office for work too, and it used to be Sydney's room. So Sydney's my second youngest daughter, who moved out a couple of years ago, and
Mhm.
yeah, so we converted it into an office when the pandemic started, and now I've got all my equipment
Oh.
here set up. So behind me there, you see that computer is, I actually originally bought that for podcasting, and then turns out
Mhm.
that the sound isn't very good off of it. It's just a Chromebook, so I got to get a better one,
Mm.
but the one I'm using right now does fine. It's all about the audio
So why are
equipment.
you working at home?
Oh, because I
Is
can.
this a COVID thing? Like now
Well,
ever
it
since
started that
COVID,
way, but
yeah.
we're hoping it's going to be permanent. Like I go into the office one day a week, but the thing is, like my job can be done. I mean, that's the reason, is because my job
That's
can be
awesome.
done from. It is because I'm saving like an hour and a half a day in driving.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But I mean, it's it's not necessarily guaranteed that it's going to be permanent. It just all depends. But I've kind of been a
Hmm.
proponent of that, because I think if the government can have more people doing that, and as long as the work's getting done, they can save money on office space and and expenses that way. And then you got happier employees, and you might keep people around longer. It's really key to make sure people are actually working. And that's the thing. So my job always gets done. So
Wow.
it's awesome. So
So
yeah,
you and your friend were reviewing movies the other day.
right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Chris. So that's going to be a regular thing.
And what I was going to ask you, since it's almost Christmas time, is what's your
Yep.
favorite Christmas movie?
So whenever people ask me that, I always just say Die Hard, and it's almost as a joke,
Oh, that's funny.
because it is a
Yeah.
joke. Like, people don't really think it's a Christmas movie. Um,
Well,
I don't really.
in the same vein as that, Uncle Buck. We're watching that
Yeah.
one tomorrow, and that
Okay.
one's also one of those. It's a Christmas movie, but it's not the same as Die Hard because it
Right.
has a little bit of. It's at the holiday season when it takes place. So I was like, we're picking our favorite,
Right.
and I'm like, yeah,
So
I'm gonna watch.
the one that I would say it probably really is more of a Christmas movie, even though it's not so much about Christmas. So I guess that would be the same thing as Uncle Buck, and that's Home Alone, the original,
Well, Home Alone
right?
is very much about Christmas, though.
Okay, well there you go. Then
Yeah.
it is, because I
I
love
know, but
the
they're
scene
not
at
like the
the end.
same. It's almost like the same characters from one show into the other.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's why we watched Home Alone, and I'm like, "Oh, I have to see Uncle Buck now. It's been
yeah.
forever since I saw it, and John Candy is hilarious.
So for
So,
me, I was always more into like the Christmas specials. So like Rudolph, I love. Um, Rudolph,
the
I can watch.
claymation, like the original claymation
Oh
from
yeah,
like,
yeah.
60s or something.
With the with
Yeah.
the with the snow monster and Burl Ives singing,
Yeah.
yeah, like I just love that. And then like the Frosty ones are okay too. And Charlie Brown Christmas is great.
Yeah.
All those old classic ones that
You
they
remember
just
when we were young, you'd get the TV guides, and
Yep.
then you'd check at Christmas time to see what Christmas specials were gonna be
Oh
on
yeah.
that week. Oh, we'd
And I
love it. We would, like, circle them all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
we also watched, the parades, the Santa Claus parades. I don't know
yeah.
if kids would do that now, watching them on TV, that seems so
Well,
dull.
definitely not my kids. I am probably not your kids either.
No, my
Um,
kids weren't interested in that at all, but we loved it.
Speaking of Christmas movies, I'm gonna have a director on next week, that you set me up with the interview, and he's got a Christmas movie
Yeah.
coming out, so I gotta watch that, and then we're gonna talk about it.
And
So
I saw his Christmas movie, and it's
okay,
really good, so you're
yeah.
gonna love it.
Is
Yeah,
there so is there
Richard
any
Dorman.
like are there any like stars in it that I would recognize, or do you know?
Oh, yes, there is one.
Okay.
I can't remember who it is. I think
Well,
it's
I'll
the
know.
warden. I
Okay.
think the
Okay.
warden is someone. But originally, I think Tom Schneider was gonna be playing the role, from the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah. 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 So
There
it's
was
an
some
older
talk
guy.
about him being in that at first, but I really like the cast that they landed up with. Oh, and Sally, well, I don't wanna get her name wrong, but the
Field.
one who plays the mother, I think, does
So,
Sally Kirkland make sense? Sally
uh,
Kirkland, I think?
yeah, that name sounds familiar.
She's
I
like
mean,
a
there's Sally
newer
Kirkland,
woman.
Sally Field, Sally Struthers.
It's not Sally Fields or Sally Struthers, but I
Okay,
think it's Sally Kirkland, and
there's
she
just
plays
Sally
the mom.
Kirkland. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll probably recognize like those kind of movies. Like I think I know the kind of movie that it is, and like we'd see them at camp. When we go down
yeah,
to the Manhattan Beach, they would show those movies all the time. And so I always like them, and they always have like people that you don't realize, are Christian actors that would be in these movies,
oh,
and they
yeah,
do
yeah.
them almost as a labor of love, because they're probably not making a ton of money. I'm assuming,
I don't
doing
know.
them. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Um,
Remember the ones that we would watch in the '70s,
yeah.
like at Evangel Chapel? They were terrifying
Oh
movies.
gosh, yeah. I mean, it all turned around with probably the Kirk Cameron movies, right? Like Left Behind and that. Like that's when they
Yeah,
started actually having a budget and getting stars that people knew and whatnot. So you kind of get people watching them. And they're like a lot of them, they're funny and they're very well written and very well produced.
yeah, I
Um,
love The War Room. It's really, really
okay, I
good.
don't think I know that one, but
The
I'll
War Room
write it
is
down.
great.
I actually will write that down right now in my little
Yeah,
notebook
you've got to
here.
watch that one. That's
The
really
War
good.
Room?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the thing
That's
I was
on
gonna show, I'm gonna see. I'm trying to see. I should be able to do this. No, because it's not. No, I'm not going to be able to show. Oh, here, wait a minute. Maybe this. Here we go. You're going to see some behind the music thing here. Okay, so you're going to see my screen. Do you see that?
Oh, there we are. It's
Yeah,
so cute.
this is this would be about 1988, I would say, maybe 89. I was living.
Yeah, probably 1988. That's when I got
Yeah,
married.
yeah. So that's when you were at. And we were working
Wait,
together. We were working together at a carpet cleaning place doing telemarketing.
is that a selfie? Did we take a
Probably.
selfie? Well, there
Either
you
that or
go. That's what a selfie
it
looks
would have
like.
been somebody like, I don't even know who would have taken it.
I don't know.
It wouldn't have been grandma. Maybe Angela if she was around, but she would have been very
Maybe.
young. She'd have been
Yeah.
like 7 or 8,
See
and
what
she would.
when you say that you're my nephew, what
Yeah.
see a lot of my friends wouldn't know, or the people who read my blog wouldn't know, is that you're almost like a brother to me.
Well, I
Because
said that earlier. Yeah.
did you say that you lived
Yeah.
with us?
Well,
You've
I didn't mention
actually
that. Don't tell that story.
Well, that's the second time that you lived with us.
Yeah.
You lived
Yeah.
with us when you were a baby, and then you moved in with us.
Third time, because we Glenlawn Collegiate, and I was going
Yeah.
to St. George School, and then the second time, or that was the second time, if I lived with you as a kid, and I don't remember that. And then the third time was when I was an adult and I needed a place to stay, and you guys let me live with you. And that was before you had kids, so I was living in your basement.
And
And
there is one funny story.
No.
Yes.
No.
You don't even know what
I'm
it
going to cut
is.
this off if you tell the story I think you're going to tell. We'll just end it.
You have no idea what it is.
Well, it better not be what I think it is, or this thing's ending. So
I don't
you can
know what
try
you
to
think
start.
it is.
Well, it's not going to be about. I don't even want to give a hint, because even the hint is gross.
It's about clothing.
Okay, go
Clothing.
ahead then. Okay.
I don't know what you were going to say. I
Well,
only remember good things, so I wouldn't
okay.
say
Well,
anything
this
bad.
one was not good. So
Okay. I can only imagine what it was.
I can
Now
only
some things are coming
imagine.
back to me, but no. So what I remember is one time I used to have this Argyle sweater in the 80s. They were like, well, they're still popular now. It just depends on what style you get, right? But they kind of look like they are either for men or women.
Okay,
But
now
I
they're
had one
throwbacks. Yeah.
it was in the laundry, and you had your room in the basement. So
Yeah.
I went to see you at work one day, and you were sitting behind the desk because you were running the phone rooms.
I was a
And
manager. Yeah.
when I walked in there, I just went, oh, because I saw you were wearing my top, and you said, "Don't say anything." You did just like you did now on the
Okay.
podcast. You were like,
Well,
and I'm
no. Okay, so
wearing
that's
my
not
top.
the story. I mean, and yeah, because I think you only had the one bathroom in your house. Maybe you had two, and I
Yeah,
was in the basement, and the
yeah,
bathroom was
yeah.
really far away. Yeah, so we'll just leave it there. But yeah, you guys were nice enough to let me stay with you, and and that helped me out at a time I really needed it. So that was cool. And then
Yeah.
when I got married, we lived like only a couple blocks from each other. And when you and Anne were both pregnant, and we
Yeah,
used to
we
get
were
together and
pregnant at
play
the same
cards.
time. And
Yeah,
now our
yes.
kids are friends, second
Yeah.
generation.
Well, I don't know how much they see each other anymore, but probably about as often as me and you do.
Well, no, but they went to high school together,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I mean, they
yeah,
grew up almost like brothers,
yeah,
yeah, because you had him, and then Madison's quite a bit younger than him, and then the next oldest brother is like what, 7 years younger. So for him, it was kind of like me and Charlene, like my
yeah.
cousin who was in that
Yes,
picture
yeah.
that I showed. We were like brother and sister too, and then
Mhm.
our siblings were both a lot younger. So when you were the youngest sibling, so it all kind of worked out. And
Yeah, since
we,
I had like 5 older sisters, I was kind of almost closer in age to, well,
yeah.
I was closer in age to you than I
Well,
was to like some of the
Bonnie,
older
yeah,
ones,
Bonnie
like
was
Alice.
closer to you, but
She
um,
is,
I think she's
like
2 years
14 years
older.
older than me, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, Dallas is maybe 16, maybe. I
Well,
don't know.
14 years older than me, probably.
Okay, yeah, and
Okay.
for me, I'm like my next oldest sibling is like uh Mindy, and she's like 8 years younger than me, and then Andy and Jessica are both 11 years younger. So
Wow, that
yeah,
is a big age span.
yeah. I mean, it's and then for me, like growing up, I kind of almost raised them. So wow,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the thing. I don't know if you can see it. Like I said at the start, yeah. So we're almost out of time. We're gonna have to do this again, and I feel like we barely even talked about anything. But
I
I'm sure
know.
hopefully the people listening enjoyed it.
Yep.
Did you have so did you say what your favorite Christmas movie was?
It's definitely Home Alone.
Okay, so we
Yeah,
got that in common, yeah. I saw
and I
that with
did
Anne, and did you see that with Mike in the theaters? I saw it with Anne in the theaters.
I don't remember. That's a good
Okay.
question.
Yeah,
But
we
we just
did.
saw Home Alone 3 came out the other day.
Oh,
And
like
it no, not Home Alone 3. The brand new Home
oh,
Alone.
yeah, is it Home Alone again?
Yeah. Home
Okay,
Sweet Home.
so please
No,
tell me that is he the dad now or something, or
Home Sweet Home Alone. No, but his brother has
Kieran?
a little part. Uh,
Okay,
Buzz. No,
okay,
the
but
brother, the
oh, the
character
brother from the movie, okay.
Buzz. Yeah,
I just saw
he's the
Macaulay
only
Culkin's
one.
brother host Saturday Night Live. He was hilarious. Um,
Oh, his real brother,
yeah, it
Kira.
was just a couple weeks ago, and he showed a scene from so when Home Alone came out 30 years ago, he hosted SNL, Macaulay Culkin, and he got to be in a couple sketches
Oh, that's fun.
as a 7-year-old kid, and then they showed at the end when they're when they do the credits and they're all like hugging and shaking hands and everything. Kevin Nealon lifts him up onto his shoulders, and then he starts going like this, like posing and stuff for the camera, like just going crazy. So then at the end of this week's episode, two of the cast members picked him up and he started doing it again. It was really cool.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, it was funny. But
cool.
he was
I
great.
love
I
them.
would recommend like YouTube, what you're watching this on. YouTube Kieran Culkin. Maybe because I'm talking about Kieran Culkin, it'll show up as a suggested video. That's how these things
Oh,
work.
yeah, that'd be
I'll
cool.
hashtag Kieran Culkin in the thing.
Well,
So
hopefully
yeah,
you'll show up as suggested on his channel.
yeah. So yeah, everybody, if you don't know my Aunt Darlene, check out timewarpwife.com. I've mentioned this to a few people I work with that I think would be really interested in what you do,
Mm,
and so hopefully you'll get some more readers out of it. And for people that maybe are checking this thing out for the first time, check out some of the older videos on the playlist.
mm.
The conversations are all very different, and Darlene, you've watched I think most of them, if not all. And yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah.
all people you maybe
You'll have
won't
to
know,
come
but
back next week when my friend Ricky Borba is on here. That'll be fun. Yeah.
yeah, Ricky, what's his last name again? I should know.
Borba.
Borba. Okay.
Borba.
Ricky Borba.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna have him on, and yeah,
Yeah.
and then for next week, yeah, I've also got lined up is a guy, Brady Childs, who is a writer for a baseball website, and
Mm.
one more guest to be determined. So yeah, that's so check those out next week. And I guess that's about it, unless there's anything else you want to add before we go.
Nope. That was
Okay.
good.
All
It
right.
was
So
so nice talking to you.
we'll close it off the way we always do.
Okay.
Cup of Joe with Grandpa Dez.